I must really tell you that you are not good with memory sometimes, remembering people.
Correct.
So Captain Mahat flies you down to Loiyangalani, and he calls me and tells me, I flew Jeff down here, but he can't remember that we even went to his gig.
Was it Hapa Delta Place?
Yes.
Delta Place.
Yes.
The library gig that you.
The library, yeah.
But July, I said, I'm 52, man. I mean,
no, do not.
Shida.
Do not always use your age here to justify.
Now, Captain Mahat. He flew us all the way to Loiyangalani.
Nice flight, is it?
What are you talking about, man? What?
Cruising.
We went on a Fokker 50.
Fokker 50.
50 passengers.
Mm-hmm. Full?
What? Marsabit doesn't have regular flights, right? Or Loiyangalani at least.
Let's take it again.
Oh, right. So we were invited to the 11th annual Marsabit Lake Turkana cultural event and half marathon. They always combine these things over there, right? So 11th annual, by the way, it's in its 11th year. This thing is so popular. The kind of people who show up there, unbelievable. I mean, this time around we had 5 governors, 2 former governors. CS Eugene Wamalwa was a guest of honor. So, it was really, really well attended. And we're talking about a place with about 40-degree heat. It's dry, it's dusty, but it's right there on the shores of Lake Turkana, Jalas. The lake that is referred to as the Jade Sea. You know why? Because of the color. The color is not blue like Lake Victoria or other lakes. The color is almost green. The Jade Sea, they call it. And by the way, the governor of Marsabit County, Mahmoud Muhammad Ali, great guy, lovely guy, Mahmoud Muhammad Ali, he was telling us, you know what? In this county of ours, Marsabit, we occupy 80% of Lake Turkana. 80%. And the amount of mbuta, you call it mbuta? Mbuta.
The Nile perch.
Nile perch and also tilapia in that lake is just unbelievable. In fact, they've just gotten a contract to build a fish factory right there by the lake.
Oh.
Fish factory, packaging, selling fish. It's about time. By the way, Jalas, Marsabit County, the largest county in the country.
Okay.
The largest, bar none. To drive from Nairobi to Loiyangalani.
So many days?
14 hours.
14 hours.
14 hours, Jala.
Over 1,800 kilometers.
It's crazy, Jala. 14 hours. And from Loiyangalani to Marsabit town, which is the capital of Marsabit County, that's another 4 or 5 hours.
Eesh.
But you know that new road they talk about, the Isiolo-Moyale road? It's part way, goes all the way to, I think, Laisang or someplace. It's all tarmac.
Laisamis.
Yes, and then you get onto all-weather road, which is a little rough, and you need a strong car.
4x4.
A 4x4.
Because the team from Bundu Rovers, I think, were also in Loiyangalani.
Yeah, we saw them.
The Land Rovers.
Yes. So you get to a place, Jalas, you're driving this rough road for like 238 kilometers, and then suddenly you come up on a hill, and in front of you is Lake Turkana. And now you're driving along the edge of the lake. Can you imagine that sight? This lake, and Marsabit has like 450 kilometers of beach from this lake. Imagine driving along this beautiful. It's like driving in Cape Town. You know when you drive the route, when you go up to the vineyards,
yes,
and you're driving there, and you can see the sea on one side, the Atlantic on one side, and you're driving. That's exactly what it's like in Turkana, in Marsabit. Unbelievable. So anyway, we're there, we're doing this gig, and we decide, you know what? Let's go visit. We've heard about this incredible game-changing phenomena in Marsabit County called the Lake Turkana Wind Power Project. Lake Turkana, because there's major winds out there, by the way. Heavy winds. So these tourists, about 20 years ago, listen to this, tourists come to Lake Turkana camping, you're doing a tenting safari, and you're planting your tents by the lake. 3-5 minutes later, the tents are blown away by the wind. And these tourists kept saying, my goodness, this wind, it's incredible. What can we do about it? So what they did, they went back to the Netherlands and they got these experts. They said, look, there's a place in Africa, a place in Kenya where the winds are incredible. And we've heard of wind power. Europe, wind power is a big thing. Why don't you guys come to Kenya, see for yourselves? Maybe we're kidding ourselves. Come and see for yourselves what you could do with this wind, because this is incredible. Sure enough, they convinced some researchers and scientists. They come to Kenya and they do the exact same thing. They plant their tents, they bring their equipment, and the winds come and blow them away. And they say, guys, there could be something here. So now this kept going. This was 20 years ago, 80s, 90s, into the 2000s. They've got research. Now they're looking for money. They get these investors and they said, you know what, let's go and do it. Boom. Everyone's in it. Everyone's okay for it. They go and start making this thing. Construction of these wind power turbines. Guess when it started, Jalas? 2014.
What?
Actual construction, 2014.
4 years later.
Years and years later, right? So now, you're laying out the route. By the way, they sectioned out 150,000 acres for the whole project. The initial use was about 40,000. The first phase one, 40,000 acres. Can you imagine what 40,000 acres is like? So now they start importing these big, huge turbines. And one engine of a turbine is about 23 tons. That's going to be put on top of the tower. 23 tons of an engine. One. How do you take it down that road all the way to Marsabit? How do you do it? So these guys had to build the roads themselves. Had to build. So then, finally the turbines arrived, the towers arrived, and they started installing them. You know when they started doing that? 2016. You know how many they had to put? 365 of them. According to the study, right? To produce 310 megawatts of electricity. And that's a lot. 310 megawatts can light up Nairobi, Kiambu, and Kajiado. So 365 of these towers were in turbines. They were doing them one a day.
So they took a whole year.
Exactly 365 days.
But the weekends?
It didn't matter because sometimes it was too windy. In fact, some of them they had to do at night when it was less windy because the wind could blow this thing away and destroy their project. So they would time it. It's less windy now. Let's go. Put up a tower. Jalas, you've seen the pictures. Did I show you the pictures?
No, you haven't.
Good Lord. There's a story I'm working on right now, Jalas. You will love it, man. We did it real, like I used to do it, like back in the day. That's how I did it. You'll see it. It's going to come. I was with our cameraman, Rashid Ibrahim. Man, this guy can shoot pictures, man. He can shoot pictures. So here, look at that. This is the Lake Turkana Wind Power Project. There are 365 of those in that area, about 40,000 acres. Right?
Wow.
So here's the deal. There's even more to it. So the project is completed in 1 year, right?
Yes.
They have these turbines, they have everything kabisa ready. Guess what? They can't be switched on.
Why?
Exactly. That's the question why. 15 months later, because they finished construction April 2017. Are you listening? 2017. Project is ready. Everyone is ready. Can't be switched on.
Why?
Because they need to be connected to the national grid. Guess who's responsible for that?
Who?
A company called Ketraco.
Okay.
Right?
Ketraco.
Yes. Which is KPLC. It's Kenya Transmission Company.
Yeah.
Right? Ketraco. Kenya Transmission. So, Ketraco outsources to this Spanish company. Build us these transmission lines. Guess where it has to be connected to?
No.
From this place in Marsabit County. I'll give you the name right now. I can't believe I keep forgetting the name. But Asaska was good enough to give me the name. I have to get it right. From this place in Marsabit County called... I'll get it right now. I have to get it right. Anyway, okay. It's 428 kilometers to Sarima. It's called Sarima, right? Sarima is where this place is. From there to Suswa. Suswa, which is where the main grid is, 428 kilometers.
What?
Can you imagine connecting all the way from Marsabit County to Suswa? Suswa ni hapa nini? Rift Valley hapa. Nakuru. 428 kilometers. So Ketraco outsources this to some Spanish company. Guess what happened? They ran bankrupt.
The company?
Yes. Packed up and left. They ran bankrupt. So they're stuck. This windmill is ready. They can't be switched on. Ketraco is dragging its feet. So what do? The authorities get on this and they're pissed off because, now it's 15 months. I mean, we're really losing time. So now they outsource to another company, Chinese. Chinese.
They never go broke.
Chinese have deep pockets. So what they're doing now, they're coming from both ends, from the Suswa end and from the Marsabit end. And, hopefully they'll meet in the middle at some point. But they have to get this thing completed by September. Or else there will be a fine to KPLC. You want to know how much? Are you ready for this?
No.
KPLC will have to pay these investors 1 billion shillings a month.
Until
they're switched on. These guys are ready to switch on. It's part of the agreement. There's investors. They're waiting to, for the rate ROI.
Return on investment.
Thank you. 1 billion shillings a month.
But with the Chinese on it, September to go on.
But you wonder, why are your bills so high? This is 310 megawatts of electricity that's supposed to be pumped onto the national grid, lowering all our costs. Right? I'm telling you, but bottom line, this thing is there. It is ready. It is up. It is on time. And then this is in Marsabit, right? Next to Marsabit is Samburu County, right? Samburu County has even wilder winds than Marsabit County. When you go into that Sugut Valley and all there, the winds in those valleys and hills is incredible. So now the people of Samburu County, they're looking for investors so that they too can set up a wind farm of their own. But this wind farm, this one in phase 1, is the largest in Africa, bigger than the one in Ethiopia, bigger than the one in Morocco. The largest wind farm in Africa. This is a game changer. If only we could get our act right, Jalas. It's incredible. I mean, it was an eye-opener for me, and, it was fantastic to be there in Loiyangalani. That's what we call a story a day.